How's it going, everyone? I'm the one and only Kaiju Sage. Welcome back to a new video, and in today's video, simply we're going to be talking about the new changes to jewels and ailment mitigation, but it's just jewels. The jewels changes and what they're doing with them. What did they get right in my mind? What did they get wrong? This is going to be just kind of a more or less first reaction. My brother read them to me last night while we were cooking dinner, but I didn't really hear a lot of it, so I'm just going to briefly go through each of these, summarize them, and then give my thoughts at the end on what I think about these things and changes and stuff. The TLDR, which I'll give in just a second. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, without further ado, I'll give a quick TLDR if you just want to know, like, what does this mean? What is this video about? And then if you want to actually hear the detailed breakdown, then you can stick around. So TLDR, jewels and ailment mitigation, they're adding sources of ailment mitigation to jewels. It already had some in the form of like corruptions, but they're literally adding them into the core mod pool for jewels. So they are adding those in, and then they are making it fairly common. I think they said, I don't remember exactly. They're adding both reduced duration of ailments as well as the what do you call it? Chance to avoid the ailment avoidance as well. So when they say mitigation, they mean both types, the avoidance and reduced duration. Because either way, if you get 100% avoidance, you will reduce. You're avoiding all the ailments entirely, and if you get 100% reduced duration of ailments, you still avoid them entirely. They're reduced to 0% duration, so you're good. Anyway, that's the TLDR. They made it easier to roll. They made all these things better, and they reduced the pool of unique jewels. They've trimmed the fat a lot. They're cutting the quest rewards out, and they're making it so that when you drop a unique jewel, it's an exciting drop. That's their goal. They wanted to make jewel drops feel more exciting. They're cutting the Conqueror's efficiency and those other two unique jewels from Act 3. So if you're relying on those, don't cut it out of your builds coming up at 3.20. And that's it. That's pretty much the main things. They're trimming the fat, putting ailment reductions in jewel mod pool, like rare jewel mods, and they're making unique jewels more rare drop chance, but they have cut the pool by a lot. There you go. So now, if that's where you're leaving, thank you. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about it? And now we're gonna dive into an actual like detailed explanation of everything. I'm gonna go over all the things briefly as much as I can. I'm trying to keep the video a little shorter, but let's talk about it. Okay, so problem: jewels have modifiers that provide various forms of ailment avoidance or protection. However, because their current forms are moderately low, you often need to stack several. They're buffing the ailment jewel types and stuff. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, they are buffing the amount you get from these modifiers as well as making them more common and able to be obtained on a rare jewel. So there you go. This way you have access to easier forms of low investment ailment mitigation. That's a good change. That is a very, very good change as ailment mitigation becomes more and more necessary. That is a very, very good change. However, so then solution, we're expanding the pool of magic and rare mods to be more generous. Regular jewels that are not abyss or clusters now have reduced duration and reduced effect. So there you go. Problem: unique jewels. Many unique jewels are not exciting to find. There are a few reasons for this. In many cases, they are simply underpowered or apply too narrow window of usage, or both. There are many corruption-only jewels that don't fulfill a good purpose. Previously, we were hesitant to revisit unique jewels and improve them because many of their themes are somewhat rigid, and meaning there's no room for changing them without completely redesigning them. So something like the Fireborn Crimson Jewel there's nothing they can do to change it. They simply have to do a full redesign. And so any improvements they can make to this jewel would have to fundamentally change its identity. Therefore, essentially remove the jewel from current Path of Exile. So solution, this is the longest part of it. Basically, they say we're making it so that every unique jewel that drops is very rare and highly desirable. They're cutting a lot of the crap unique jewels that people just aren't using. And they are adding all of the existing mini unique jewels have been removed from the core drop pool, and adding others to the unique core drop pool, so you can drop them from anywhere: bosses, maps, chests, etc. Have been removed. The intention is now that when you find a unique jewel, it should almost always be very exciting. To help make jewel drop special, we have designed a new set of unique jewels that are powerful chase items. These can drop from the core pool. You can learn more about these in the upcoming live stream. So they're going to reveal a bunch of new jewels. We'll have to wait and see. Those could be really good. We'll see. With that said, some unique jewels were still useful for a subset of players that have had build enabling modifiers. Brute force solution, attribute transformation jewels. They didn't get rid of those. They're making them corruption only jewels. So you're going to have to make those yourself. If you want the attribute conversion jewels, that's like the jewel, like I think brute force solution transforms intelligence into strength in a radius. I think it's a medium radius. So like the ring, you put it in a jewel socket, and then in a ring around it, it converts every intelligence, travel node, or otherwise to strength. And the others, like it, will do the same thing. They're corruption only. So you'll corrupt, rare jewels. Probably need to corrupt the red jewel if you want the strength one. That's just a guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that's fine. I mean, making those corruption only rather than get rid of them is smart, but I don't know. So we'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. Let me finish going over it all. And generally, as players who don't want them to come across as a core drop, players who do want them still can actively pursue them. Build enabling unique jewels can now be found in a more deterministic method throughout Path of Exile. One example is combat focus, which can now be obtained through a vendor recipe, which we'll have to discover. The jewels that affect golems, the primordial, might, efficiency, and all those, can no longer drop, but can be found through another more deterministic source. We want you to discover this new source during your own gameplay. We will say for clarity, these jewels do not come from vendor recipes. So if you're a Golemancer player, primordial might, primordial efficiency, those, you're going to have to find the new way to obtain those. It does not come from a vendor recipe or drops. It's going to be something new. So good luck. Good hunting. Our goal is that finding a unique jewel is an exciting experience. Unique jewels that drop naturally should be those that are very valuable, broad appeal to the average player. Either use in your own build or trade to someone else. We've worked towards this goal by removing uninteresting jewels, adding more chase unique jewels, and moving jewels that do appeal to a smaller subset to other places that can be pursued by choice. Okay. Mini unique jewels are currently granted through quest rewards. Yeah, they're cutting all the quest rewards. Quest reward jewels no longer exist. Players no longer have to be burdened with predictable quest rewards. And then they finish by saying in that portion that they're going to make rare jewels as quest rewards that have a high chance of being valuable or well rolled. So we'll have to wait and see what that means. I hope they'll force some percent life or something on them at a minimum, just force percent life, percent mana, something on them where you're okay, this is going to guaranteed help me right now if I can get it and it's desirable, something like that, but we'll see. So the overall summary of all of this is they're working towards their goal of trimming the fat of Path of Exile's drop problems. So Path of Exile right now has a core problem where even when you are dropping enough loot, right, you're not dropping good loot. You're dropping 95% garbage. And then when you do drop the other stuff, you're like, oh, finally, I dropped something. It doesn't feel like when you get a unique drop, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. I got a unique. It's something that might be good. They've kind of accidentally descended into semi Diablo 3 territory, where you drop a ton of uniques and a ton of items and a ton of other stuff, and then it's like your eyes just glaze over and it's like, what, another unique? Okay, who cares? Whatever. Okay, move on. Next, and you're just basically drooling on yourself the whole time. Like they're trying to move into a trimmed down loot system that has more appeal, and when you drop an item, you're like, oh, cool, I got a unique. I'm excited. Let me fucking see what this thing is. Um, I like the idea. Closing thoughts on all this. I like the idea. I think trimming uniques is good. I'm a little nervous about them saying they made the drop chance lower, making them rarer, but that's fine. I'll wait and see. I'll reserve my judgment for 3.20. As far as the ailment mitigation goes, fantastic. Great change. Adding sources of ailment mitigation, making things more widely available to the game if you're not going to make it easier is fantastic. You have to do that. The current state of the game is such a pain. There's so many fun taxes like ailments, like getting frozen and shocked and ignited, that you have to deal with it or the game just can't feel fun. So make more ways to deal with it at least, and then it's just a challenge to overcome within reason, and it's not just like a absolute baseball bat to the kneecap. We'll have to wait and see. On all this, we'll wait and see. We'll see how it goes in 3.20. Once again, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And if comment down below, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's a good change? Do you like the direction of like trying to trim the loot down into a nicer drop pool that doesn't have a bunch of garbage in it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. If I enjoy your comment, I'll give it a little heart. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video tomorrow. It'll either be a random topic, or if they release another dev post, I'll cover that tomorrow. But yeah, hope to see you all there, and I hope you all have a great day.